Predicting England's World Cup 2026 squad, we're starting off in goal. It'll be Pickford number 1, still putting out massive performances for England in the summer, for Everton in the Premier League. I think James Trafford will come into the squad as well as the third option. He's been fantastic for Burnley. I think number 2 will be Nick Pope, fantastic for Newcastle. I don't want to see Aaron Ramsdale anywhere near this squad. He'll be playing probably League One with Southampton by the time the World Cup rocks around. The right back situation is very interesting. Obviously, Kyle Walker, Trippier, right at the probably wrong end of their careers to play this World Cup. I think they're probably both interested to play in the World Cup and try and get in the squad. But I see 2 outstanding candidates. One is Reece James. I'm hoping as a neutral, as an England fan, not a Chelsea fan, of course, that Reece James can come fully good, fully fit, play more than 12 games a season. If he's fit, it's a big question mark. He's one of the best right backs in world football in his day. He really is. And if he can play for England in a back 4 as a right back, in a back 5 as a right-sided centre-back, he's absolutely fantastic. And then Trent Alexander-Arnold, he'll still be so young, still a massive part of the squad. And Thomas Tuchel will back himself as a top-level manager that can put his arm around the highest-level talent. He's been doing it at Bayern Munich. He's been doing it at Dortmund, PSG, and Chelsea. He'll certainly think he could put an arm around Trent and get the most out of him. John Stones, first name on the team sheet from the centre-back position. He'll still be at a decent age. He's got the most experience. You can't just have 5 or 6 young centre-backs coming in. I think he'll rely on John Stones, who's got incredible ability out from the back. You look at the World Cup semi-final under Southgate, you think about back-to-back Euros finals. It was all John Stones in terms of the defensive partnership with Maguire, and so is Pickford and even Kyle Walker. But he was an ever-present since 2018, John Stones, and he was fantastic in 2024. No one wants to talk about him because he's a Man City player. I get it, but he was absolutely fantastic, and he got through the tournament. He played almost every game. So John Stones gets in there with Gahey. I think you can interchange these guys anywhere across a back 5 in terms of whether it's John Stones in the middle of 3 centre-backs, Gahey either side. Gahey absolutely fantastic. Probably pound for pound the best centre-back England have got. John Stones, I'd take him over Gahey, but you know, if you factor in his age and his injuries and stuff like that, I think Gahey he played out his skin in the Euros. So Gahey gets in, no question. Ben White as well, you have to lean into the fact Ben White wants to play for England again. You have to put an arm around him. He's a sensitive soul. If you don't play him, you'll probably run off back to Ibiza in the summer. So you have to play him. You have to get him in the squad. You have to feature Ben White. And I think he's part of England's best back line. I really do. That's a nasty back line. Gahey, Stones and Ben White. It really, really is. Branthwaite comes in, left-sided centre-back that can show you pace, show you power, athleticism. I can't believe he's not part of the first squad. He will certainly be there. I think he'll probably be playing for Chelsea, Man United, one of the big 6 in the next couple of years. He's a fantastic player. I've put in Archie Gray because I think he can play anywhere in the back 5. He can play as a right back, left back, centre back. He can play in midfield. He's got a bit of the Eric Dyer about him. Not as physical maybe, but he's far better on the ball than Eric Dyer. But in terms of that kind of well-rounded utility player, I think Gray's more than good enough. Let's be real. This Spurs side have been absolutely shocking. They're currently below Manchester United in the table, and Gray has been a standout player, and he'll be, 20 years old? I think he's one of those players where Bellingham bursts onto the scene, Cole Palmer bursts onto the scene, Wayne Rooney bursts onto the scene, even someone like Eric Dyer burst onto the scene in 2016, Harry Kane, Sterling. These guys have tournaments where they burst onto the scene. I think Archie Gray could be one of them in a big way, particularly with his injury record. He's always fit. He's always available. And you look at some of the other guys that I've mentioned, mixed injury record, no doubt about it. No Harry Maguire, I just think he's playing at such a low level, no Champions League football. All the players that I've mentioned could be playing in Champions League football, European football at the highest level. I love Harry Maguire for his time at England. I think he could be the one to go. In midfield, no Jordan Henderson. I'm not watching the World Cup. I refuse. I'll watch the EastEnders on the bus every day throughout the summer of 2026 if Jordan Henderson goes to England. It's an embarrassment. He's even in the first squad. It's a backward step, and it's the wrong message for Thomas Tuchel. I think he's actually made a mistake already. He's only a few days into the job on some level in his first international break, and he's already made a big mistake. Jordan Henderson should be nowhere near any squad going to a World Cup 2026. Kobbie Mainoo as well, I don't think he'll make it. I don't think you can play him as a CDM. I don't think he's a 10. He's not a false 9. Where do you play him? Like, seriously, where'd you play him? I think that could be his issue. And plus, I think he's had a bit of a flat season this season. I know he's had a few injuries, but again, I think the Man United curse, I think there'll be a limit to how many Man United players you can take to this side. They're currently bottom half. Where are they going? Seriously, where are these Man United players going? There's so much better out there, with all due respect. And I'm not being biased. I just don't see how Kobbie Mainoo gets into the squad. Declan Rice, obvious. Bellingham, obvious. Adam Wharton has to be in the squad. He has to play football for England. He didn't get a minute in the tournament. An absolute embarrassment. If I ever meet Gareth Southgate, I will tell him that. I'll tell him it's an embarrassment you didn't play Adam Wharton any minutes. He was outstanding. Probably the most informed midfielder in the Premier League who was English going into that tournament. I know Declan Rice had more experience, but Adam Wharton was playing out of his skin for Palace. Out of his skin. So Wharton goes to me. Conor Gallagher, just because you can play him anywhere. He's versatile, so athletic, important for a summer tournament where England usually struggle in America. And then Morgan Rogers, again, for the athleticism, for the level that he's performing at. He's fantastic. I'm a big, big fan of Rogers. In the attacking midfielder department, no Eze for me. I think he'll still be at Palace, and that could be a detriment to his England chances. James Maddison, similar to where Spurs are. And Jack Grealish. I don't think Tuchel will fancy Jack Grealish, particularly if Grealish is still at Man City, maybe seeing out his contract or hasn't got his future sorted. I love Jack Grealish. I'm the biggest fan of Jack Grealish on the internet. I seriously am. What he can do, I don't think his time at Man City has been anywhere near as bad as people say it is. I just think it's going to hamper his chances with Tuchel for what Tuchel wants. And Jack Grealish might not be the kind of profile that Thomas Tuchel will look for. I think he'll look for more athletic, counter-attacking players, which might be a mistake. Cole Palmer gets in. That's pretty obvious. I think as a world, you actually build the whole side around Cole Palmer. You protect the defence, you get your midfielders in there, and you try and build a side around Cole Palmer. That's how I see it anyway. Phil Foden has to get in there. I think he's below Palmer now in current form, going into an England squad. But again, right wing, left wing, anywhere you want, even as a false nine. If anything happened to Kane, and I'm talking mid-game as well, you can play him anywhere. I've put in Harvey Elliott as a wild card. I think he'll play more football in the next 12 months. His goal against PSG was fantastic. He's still so young. I think that's why you could argue he's not getting the minutes that maybe Liverpool fans would want from Arne Slot. But I think he's absolutely fantastic. I think he'll go. I think his ceiling is that high. Joe Bellingham is someone that is a wild card. I'm not going to say he's going to go, but he could also go. It could be him or Harvey Elliott. I know it's crazy. I see Joe Bellingham going, particularly, imagine a midfield of Job, Jude. There'll just be a ring to it that I think Thomas Tuchel might want to lean into. Seriously. I could see it happening. But he's not on my squad. The strikers, no Ivan Toney. You don't get to play for England if you play in the Saudi Arabian League. With all due respect to Toney, I'm a big fan of Ivan Toney. Huge fan of Ivan Toney. But I don't think World Cup 2026 is for you if you're playing in that league. With all due respect. I haven't put Ollie Watkins in there. I see him flatline a little bit. I think he's been great this season, great last season. The goal against the Dutch, one of the best moments ever as a football fan for me. I just think as a world that he isn't at the same trajectory as someone else that I'm going to put in. Harry Kane obviously gets in. Saka gets in. Gordon on the left. Those are obvious if they're all fit. And then we're looking at Liam Delap. Now, I know it's a bit of a wild card versus Ollie Watkins, but he's got this pace, this presence about him. If he's at a big club, when he leaves Ipswich in the summer, which has to be inevitable at this point, you could be looking at a 25-goal-a-season striker. Seriously, he's that good. I just think his ceiling is higher than Ollie Watkins. Obviously, different age profiles. That's what could influence Thomas Tuchel. Just something so unique and so different, and playing at a blistering pace for a big club, theoretically speaking. And my final selection is Jamie Gittins, a left winger, can play right wing as well, but on his left foot, on the left wing, he's absolutely electric. I think he could definitely balance out the squad. He's got a high ceiling, playing for a Champions League club. He's still very, very young, very tender. Playing for a big club. He's not starting every single game. He's been rotated in the squad this season for Dortmund, but still a fantastic player nonetheless. That's my England squad for World Cup 2026. Hopefully Thomas Tuchel doesn't include anyone like Jordan Henderson. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you very, very soon.